Sorry about that. I started the stream with my headphones plugged in, and when I took the headphones out, when I unplugged the headphones, it killed the audio. So I just started a new one. Okay, hello. Well, yeah, I had my headphones plugged in because I was just on Discord, and I started the stream with them plugged in. And when I unplugged the headset, it killed this sound. So I started over without the headset plugged in. What is it turn? Well, I don't know if I turn. Anyway, RPO is pretty. It was okay. Didn't have much action. Not many people on either. But I didn't have too many people on. Um, it was fun though. I had fun doing it. Devin will be on there tomorrow night when we get back from church. Um, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to do some recording of our Easter service. I don't know yet. I would like to, but I'm don't know if I'll be able to because I'll be busy. Do you guys have Facebook? Because me and Devin we're part of our choir. Really? Come on now. I have Facebook. I would say if you had Facebook, our church live streams, and you can watch the Easter service. I know you're not a church person, but at least you would get to see me sing. I'm not gonna sing here though. I have to have enough music to sing. So Facebook is how I communicate with family. It's a little cold in here. Oh, that's all right. Not everybody's fond of Facebook. My dad is actually off of Facebook, so but well, it is almost 10 o'clock here. Mm, yeah. Oh, jeez. I got a third person watching. I know who it is. Um, I had to start my second one over. Uh, but the first one I put up, I had no sound. Well, I know why, but that's why I just titled this one "Try Q." Well, didn't do much today at all, as I was saying earlier. Just went over to Mom's and helped her with her chickens and a couple other things she needed help with. Ate dinner by herself. Eating by herself again tomorrow night. Oh, my ear itches really bad. Yeah, yeah. Vinny told me what you were doing. Be careful doing that. I actually can tell you a story. Me and Devin, you said when we were younger, we shared what is my room, and I mean we had been 3 or 4 years old. We had those. Oh, cool. We had those old beds that had the metal bar on the bottom, on the frame. Me and Dad would jump back and forth on the bed, from bed to bed. At one point, I jumped to one of the beds, and instead of hitting the bed, I hit the edge of the mattress. And when I did, I fell backward and hit my head on that metal bar, cracked my head open. Mom rushed me to the hospital, and I had to get 7 stitches and 6 staples. 6 months later, we're in the kitchen in these chairs, actually, and Mom's cooking dinner. And I don't know if you all did this in school, but a lot of our friends would lean the chair back like this, just lean the chair back with their feet up in the chair, or they would just lean the chair back and kind of rock it. Devin did that, and he went to catch himself by grabbing onto a table, this table that the computer's sitting on, and chair went back out from under him. It was on a hard floor, so the legs just slipped right out from behind him. Fell back, hit his head. He starts crying, rubbing the back of his head, went up against the counter, started scraping up against the counter, and Mom noticed blood running down the counter. Cracked his head open doing that. 6 months apart. So we both have scars in the back of our head. You can't see them when our heads are long, but sure, if I turned around, you could see it now. But I actually have 2 of them because we were about 12 or 13 years old. No, I guess we're younger than that. I'd have to say 9 or 10. And we found golf clubs at Grandpa's, well, out in the barn. So we would be hitting balls back and forth or we'd be playing with them, hitting golf balls in the yard. Well, we went in for lunch or dinner one time. Yeah, we did too a little bit, but um, not real strict rules, really. But we were playing golf clubs. And we went in for lunch or dinner over at Grandma's. And so we laid the golf clubs up and get down by the swing. Over at Grandma's, down by the swing in the porch. And we went back out afterward. I bent down, picked up my golf club. Or Devin grabbed his first. I bent down, picked mine up. As I come back up, he has his on his shoulder, and he turned around and clunked me right in the back of the head. And immediately I knew my head had cracked open because If you've had your head cracked open, you know the feeling of blood running down the back of your head. And at first, sometimes you'll get hit in the head and it feel like you're bleeding, but you put your hand back there and nothing. Well, it felt like I was bleeding, so I put my hand back there, brought my hand back around, and my hand was full of blood, so I knew my head was cracked open. So I ran in the house and tried not to trip on grandma's floor. Ran to the bathroom, got a washcloth wet, put it on the back of my head. Mom ran me up to the emergency room. I didn't really cry. Um, Surprisingly, I didn't really cry because, I mean, it hurt. Don't get me wrong, it hurt. But I just put my hand on the back of my head, ran back in the house, and Mom goes, I don't know what happened. I'm like, no, I told her what happened. So I've been down from my golf club, came back up, and Devin swung around and hit me in the face. And he goes, oh, geez, let me look. And she saw the blood on my finger. She goes, son of a bitch. Yeah, a little bit. No, we weren't rude. Most of the time, it was just an accident. most of the times, it was just accidents. But so Mom went in, got a washcloth, put on the back of my head, got me in the car, ran me up to the hospital to the ER. Surprised I didn't have to have any stitches that time. By the time we got up there, I had stopped bleeding. So luckily, it wasn't a big open gash like the first time. But other than those two, I don't think I've had any other head injuries. Yeah. But no, me and Devin's been through a lot in our entire life. From being diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at 4 months old to those head injuries, my knee injury, shattered my knee on a dirt bike. Still has a big ass scar from the surgery. And then both of us have had collapsed lungs. We've gone through a lot in our entire life. The worst injury I think I've had would be my knee, besides the collapsed lung. But the worst injury, not physical injury I've had, was my knee. Completely shattered it on a dirt bike. Right here in the yard. Right here in the yard too. 2005. I was on crutches for 4.5 months. Devin hated it. And the only reason he hated it because he had to do everything for me. If I was hungry or thirsty, he had to get up and get it for me from the fridge. When Mom fixed dinner, instead of me getting up to go over and grab it, because I had my crutches, which I still have my crutches here in the house. They're in this closet beside me. And the only thing I did myself was go to the bathroom, of course. But the day the wreck happened was April 3rd, 2005. Did not know my knee was broke until I came back home. What it was um, our garden is right out front here. And me and Dan were riding our dirt bikes, doing it like we were on a road. And he was stopped out here, like he's at a stop sign or a stoplight. We just imagine a stoplight and all that. I'm coming from Grandma's front yard. I turn around the corner of the garden, and we were trying to kind of high five each other as we went by. Well, I got turned so far, I'm like, it's not gonna work. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I bet. I bet. So we didn't have any gate or anything because we live in the country. Um, we never really held in our yard. Really, we could go over to our neighbor's yard. We could go grandma's yard, obviously, but we have a pretty big yard here. So, but anyway, we were. I turned to go by him, and I saw we were not gonna get by each other. I saw I was gonna end up hitting him. So I hit my rear brake with my foot. Yeah. I hit my rear brake with my foot, my hand brake, which is the front brakes. We didn't have a clutch on these bikes, they're automatic. So I hit my brake, front brake, hit my rear brake with my foot, started gearing down, but that's the only thing I remember. I hit, but what I don't understand is I ended up about 20 feet from where we hit, behind me. So we so we hit at the garden, and we have a clothesline about 20 feet behind where we hit. I landed by the clothesline on my hands and knees, and my bike ended up there too, about 10 feet in front of me. The only thing I can think of is when I hit his tire, because his gear stand, his gear pedal got turned backwards and upward. He lost the visor on his helmet, and he got a sprung wrist and a black eye from the goggles. That's all he had. And I had a broken knee, but did not know it yet. But I woke up on my hands and knees, and I look up, and I see my bike in front of me. I see his bike on the ground. I see him down by his bike. We both had to have blacked out because that's all I remember. I don't remember the impact. I can remember slamming on my brakes and saying, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work." And then I woke up on my hands and knees. But I crawled over to the clothesline, pulled myself up using it, walked into grandma's back porch and into the house. Went in, I had a spot about this big on my knee that was opened up. My favorite pair of black jeans, they already had a small tear in the knee, but we had to literally tear them open to see what was going on. And that open spot was about that big, and mom poured peroxide on that, and it bubbled like a volcano. It's like, okay, maybe it's just from the grass and dirt and everything, and my knee is why it bubbled up. We come back home later that night to take a shower. Seems like my leg was hurting like hell. Mom helped me get my jeans off. We get my jeans down past my knees, and my knee is this big. Big as my mom's knee. And she saw my knee, she goes, uh-uh, your knee is big as mine. That's not good. Calls grandma, tells her that she sent Devin over to the house, running me to the ER. We get up to the ER. They do an x-ray. They do a CAT scan. Don't find nothing. They wait a couple of hours, give me an ice pack for swelling to go down, take me back into the CAT scan, and they find a blood clot. They find a blood clot. So I'm rushing to surgery that night to clean that out, or to drain that. And there's so much swollen that they couldn't really see none, so they gave me crutches and sent me back home. A couple weeks later, I go back. Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. A couple weeks later, we go back. After the swelling had gone down, they x-ray it, and my fever started, my oxygen started dropping. I started getting a fever. I started getting cold. At some points, hot at another. Hey, Robert, how are you, bud? And so we'd go back to the ER. They take a look and they go, you've got an infection in your knee that's causing your fever. Okay. They send me up to Kansas City because they thought the oxygen was because of my lungs from my CF. Did not know I had to do my knee injury at all. We get up there. That's good here, Robert. Tell a little backstory here about how I broke my knee. We get up there. Surgeon comes in, and I swear, he just brings a syringe with a needle this long. It was about long as that pencil. The needle itself was long as that pencil. And they put it right in the side of my knee. Deep as they can get it. Because my knee being so big, they thought it was just fluid. Well, some of it was. So they're trying to drain this fluid out. Nothing is coming out. Nothing. Little bit of fluid at a time. Like, okay, something's causing this to not drain. Take me to x-ray. They see a blood clot about that big in my knee. That's what's causing it not to drain and swell. 2 days later, they get my fever down. I'm healthy enough to go into surgery. They take me into surgery to clean out the blood clot. They get that taken care of. 4 days later, my temperature starts going up again. They do an x-ray and CAT scan, an MRI, and they find an infection from the blood clot. Get my fever back down, get me able and stable enough for surgery. Take me in April 10th for surgery to clean the infection out. Okay? Now they gotta wait for my knee to really quit being for all the swelling to go down. So I'm in a brace in the hospital. Mom's up there with me. April 15th, surgery day to repair my knee. They come in and get me about 10 o'clock in the morning. Take me into surgery. I'm in surgery. Mom's in the waiting room. She's trying to call Grandma to tell him that I had just went in surgery. Meanwhile, back here, Devin is on his way to Special Olympics. Grandma is on their way to see him. They're watching. She don't make it. She does not make it there. She ends up flipping her truck on the way up. Makes it worse. Devin saw the truck on the way up. The bus passed the truck. And Devin looks at it. And a lot of times you'll come up on a wreck and you can kind of see the bottom is sitting at a certain angle where you can see the bottom of the truck and the front of the truck at the same time. It's just that weird angle. Well, she was going northbound lanes, She ended up in the southbound ditch on the side, on her driver's side. And Devin, the bus passed the truck. Devin looks at it and goes, "That was my grandma in that truck." Everybody kept telling him, "No, she's up there waiting on you to get there. She's going to see you when you get off the bus. She's going to be there to pick you up when we're done." Come around lunchtime, we have these pills that we have to take every time we eat something. We can't digest our food like you can. So we have these pills that help. He sees a couple. From distance, it looks like Grandma and Grandpa. Didn't know Grandpa was going. Apparently he didn't. He never does. He gets closer and realizes it's not them. He starts getting worried now. Looking all over for him. He ain't got no pills to take because they've got the pills. None of the teachers had our pills. Getting worried about it. We get to the end of the event. He goes back home. Gets to school, showing off his medals that he won that day. He gets called out of class. He gets called to class. And he's like, "I don't. Maybe Grandpa's just here to pick me up. I don't know." Because we have no doctor's appointment or anything. He gets to the office. Nobody's there. He asks what's going on. He's picking me up. He said, your grandpa, he had to go to the bathroom. Grandpa comes out of the bathroom. Devin asks what's going on. He goes, "Your grandma's in the hospital. She's in a wreck this morning." Devin goes, "I saw the truck. Where'd it happen? Well, where'd it happen at?" He goes, "Up there by Petro." Oh, yes. And I know you do. And Devin goes, "I saw the truck for 4 months." Grandpa and Devin argued about it. Mom is in the waiting room waiting for me to come out of surgery. I just get out. Doctor just told her I went through surgery okay. Resting. I'm in recovery. When I wake up, they're going to bring her back to me. She gets a call from Grandpa. Grandpa says, "Are you sitting down?" "No." Because then he told me. And Mom said, "No." Grandpa goes, "You better sit down." He goes, "No, I'm fine. What's going on?" I can't get a hold of Mom at all. Uh, anyway, he goes, "Your mom had a wreck this morning." How's that? Anyway, after Grandpa told her that Grandma wrecked that morning, Mom collapsed on the floor. Another lady waiting for their son to come out of surgery and a nurse behind the desk came and picked her up, asked her if she's okay. She said, "No, I'm not. I'm up for my son. He's in surgery for a broken knee. Just found out from my dad that my mom wrecked, had a car wreck, 4 hours away from here. So no, I am not okay." Oh God. Oh God. And so I come out. She don't tell me. She don't tell me until we get back to my room. Because she wanted me to, the anesthesia to wear off and everything. We get back to my room, anesthesia wears off. About an hour later, after getting back to my room, Mom goes, okay, I got something to tell you. First off, Grandma is okay. Grandpa's okay. Devin's okay. However, Grandma wrecked this morning going to see Devin. She flipped the truck. Don't know how bad. She's at the hospital. Devin and Grandpa are on the way now. A couple of days later, well, for the next couple of nights, Grandma was calling me from her hospital bed to my room phone. I didn't have a cell phone at the time. Oh boy. Wow. Anyway, um, so a couple of days later, doctors come in, check on me, check how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, if I'm in pain. Um, and Mom asked them, when can we get out? Because I'm up here. My mom just had her egg back home. She's in the hospital. I don't have no way to know what's going on down there. And we don't know what was happening. We don't know what was wrong with Grandma at the time. And they go, well, we'll give a couple more days. See how his knee's doing, swelling and everything. If he's good, we'll get you out of here. I think I was in for a week exactly before they released me. So, of course, I am in a cast with crutches. So, Mom pulled me around in a wagon the day we're leaving. And we get down to where the hospital she's at here back home in Joplin. And we pull up there. Of course, can't get out because I'm on crutches. So I've got a urinal. I'm going back right there in the car. And my cousin walked up to the window. So I'm sitting there going to the restroom in the car, in a urinal that they gave me. And I can't really get in and out of the car. And my cousin knocks on the window. So I'm sitting sideways in the car. My feet, both legs are up in the chair, in the seat, back seat. And my cousin knocks on the window. So I look up and I see him and I'm still going. So I wave him away from the window. I put down the window a little bit. I said, I'm using the restroom. Go away from the window. I went, oh, okay. Now, here's one thing. Doctors told me they want me using the crutches to get used to them. Okay. Nope. Knowing the distance, my cousin's father grabs me out of the car from under my arm. He puts his arms under mine, pulls me out of the car, and carries me to Grandma's room. Or carries me inside, and then we get me a wheelchair. We get to Grandma's room. My Aunt Cam is there. Yes, because she's telling me. Something my Vinny's telling me. It's about you. Anyway, my Aunt Cam is sitting in a chair. We get there. She gets up. She's like, here, you sit down. I don't need to. You do. So you kick your leg up. And so we're sitting there, Grandma asked how I'm doing. I said, I'm good. What about you? And that's when we find out that she broke her back. She broke her first and third lumbar in her back, in her spine, and crushed the second one. If doctor said if she was not wearing a seatbelt or the truck crashed and landed in a different way, she could have been paralyzed from the waist down or dead. She was lucky. The other thing that is amazing, she had a Toyota Tacoma 2007. No, 2003 Toyota, 2001 or 2 Toyota Tacoma. And the roof never crushed in at all. But the reason I think the roof never crushed in because it never touched the ground. She would go northbound and she swerved to miss a tire truck from a semi. There's a semi a couple yards back from her. And when she swerved to miss it, the right tire caught it and it kicked the truck airborne. And she rolled 3 times in the air, landed driver's side in the southbound ditch, and skidded about 30 feet. So essentially, if this was the truck, just our TV controller, if this was the truck, she was going along, and when she swerved to miss the tire, the right tire hit it, and it kicked the truck up like this. And it just flipped it 3 times in the air, clear across the highway. Luckily, it's a 2-lane road. And she landed in the southbound ditch and skidded. And it was laying over on his driver door. Well, from the smoke from the airbags and the seatbelt, she had a hard time getting her seatbelt off. And she was pinned up against the door. And she started seeing smoke from the airbags, and luckily that trucker that was a few yards back stopped. Got up on top of the truck on the passenger side, looked down inside, asked Grandma if she was okay. She goes, yeah, I think so, but the truck's on fire. Get me the hell out of here. And she just kept saying, the truck's on fire, get me out, get me out. And the trucker goes, no, ma'am, that's the smoke from your airbags. Truck's not on fire. You're okay. Can you get your seatbelt off? She goes, yeah, I think I can. So she reached down, tried to get it off, and couldn't get it off. So the trucker apparently is the one that called the fire department, 911. They get there, they have to cut her seatbelt off and pull her out the top. And she wasn't hurting until they were putting her on the backboard. That's when she started screaming, my back is hurting, my back. They get her in the ambulance, they get her to the emergency room, get her to the hospital. They do x-rays, CAT scan, CT scan, ultrasound, whatnot, everything they need to do. And that's when they find out she broke her back. She was in a full body cast for 4 months. And she's got rods in her back. She cannot go through metal detectors at airports or anywhere else. Because those pins and rods in her back, if she goes through a metal detector, they'll rip them right out. So she's got to be careful what she does. And she's doing real good now. That was back in 2005. So we're both doing good. I've only injured my knee one other time. Wasn't real bad though. But doing good. So I don't think I've ever showed my scar on my stream ever. I don't think I've ever showed the scar on my stream because I'm always wearing jeans. But if you guys want to see the scar on my knee, let me know. I'll show it. I don't care. I'll show the scar on my knee. I can't show a couple other scars that I got because they're in a certain area. I don't know. Maybe. Well, maybe I can. I told you about collapsing my lung. Well, I've got scars on my side here from the chest tube. Alright. I'll get up for it. Show you maybe. See if I can get my knee up here. I don't know if you can see it or not. I've got a big old scar that goes from here down. Oh crap. That gave me a cramp. Hold on, let me move the computer closer. And I'll put my knee up on the chair. I don't know if you can see the scar or not. It goes from up here all the way down to about there. And then, I'm trying to get it in the camera here. I've got a little bump spot right here. That's where that little hole was that I was telling you about. I actually had a small bone coming through that. I've got probably, if I had to guess, that scar is about 5 inches long. I think I had 12 staples and stitches. And then I've got scars on my left side from, see them right there. That's from the chest tubes when I collapsed my lung. That's just from the chest tube. Doing good, Robert. I don't know if you saw that or not. I showed the knee on my scar. The scar on my knee from when I broke my knee. But yeah, I'll always have that scar. I'll always have that scar now. And coincidentally, about 2012 or 13. Okay, cool. 2012 or 13, Grandma broke her knee. Completely different way too. I believe it was December. It was November or December. Me and Dad were both in the hospital. Her and Grandpa went downtown to a local restaurant to eat. And where they parked right by one of those man covers for the sewer line or the underground water lines. Well, apparently it was covered in snow and she didn't see it. She got out of the truck, took 2 steps forward, stepped right in it. And she walked on her knee for about 3 weeks, did not know it broke. And she went in for a routine checkup, and they saw that her knee was black and blue. And took an x-ray of it and found out it was broke. So she walked on a broken knee for 3 weeks. Didn't know it. And she's got the same scar I do now. They sued the city for it. They took the city, MoDOT, and the restaurant. Yes, I've seen the movie. I love the movie. Yep. So you know what pills I'm talking about then, because they're taking them too. Yeah, I've watched the movie. At first, I didn't want to watch it, but I finally came around to watching it. Devin and his ex Kenna went and watched it in the theaters, and Devin cried in several parts. I think I watched it on TV. I think I watched it on TV when it came out on TV. I believe. No, I think Mom went and bought the movie for us to watch. But no, I've seen it. Do we really say 5 feet apart? No, me and Devin don't. Um, from other CFers, yeah, depending on how bad theirs is. If, there's two variances of it. You have the um, I can't remember the two differences. There are two different variances of it. One of them is more contagious than the other. Um, it's kind of hard to explain. It is. But yeah, if you're not family, then usually yes. But things have changed since the movie came out. Um, I think what it just depends on how sick the other person is, really. Yeah, I've only seen it a couple times. I've only seen it a couple times. I did not cry at many of them. I don't think I cried at all. Thought I would, but I didn't. But when I first seen the movie trailer for it, I didn't really want to watch it, and I had my reasons why I didn't want to watch it. Main reason was because when it came out, I was told several times that I would die in a couple months. I was that sick, and I just couldn't watch a movie about that. I just couldn't watch a movie about it because from the trailers I knew one of them did die and one of them was real sick, about as sick as I was, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch it at that time. Because there's been several times I was told I wouldn't make a certain day. 2018, I was told, not by the doctor, but by grandma from the doctors, 2018 in September or November, no, yeah, September or October. I was told I would not make Christmas that year. I proved them wrong. Hey, William, how are you, buddy? But yeah, I had my reasons for not watching it at first, but I finally did watch it when I started getting healthier. That's like the movie 2012. I never wanted to watch that movie. I still never want to watch it. Um, reason being because there's rumors going around for several years, at least 5 years, that the world was ending in 2012. Oh yeah, yeah. She told me about that earlier today. That you're gonna be adopting her, but like 2012, like 2012 movie, I didn't want to watch it because there's rumors for several years that 2012 was when the world was ending. 2012 was my graduation year, and I cannot bring myself to watch that one. I can't bring myself to watch it. I still don't watch it. There's, yeah, yeah, she did. She told me a lot of stuff earlier. Told me a lot of stuff that you didn't want to tell me, and stuff that was going on with her too, and your dad, and yeah. He told me some stuff that you didn't want to tell me. How you doing, William? If you're still there, bud. Good night, Robert. Take care, bud. Have a good week and good Easter if I don't see you in my next one, buddy. Um, Tell me about what happened last Sunday. Well, I guess it was this Sunday that happened. So. Again, I got a pretty good amount of views for being almost 11 p.m. Central Time. Yep, she told me. Well, she told me because of her dad is why you weren't on the game for a long time. Why you're going for the 3 months. Well, what? That's alright. Some stuff is too personal to tell. I get that. Yeah, I get that. When did Marvel come in? She's in one. Last I saw her, she's in my chair. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. During the day anyway. Might get on the game for a little bit. And I know about 5:30 I gotta leave to go to the church for praise practice. Then when I get home, watch TV shows. I'll probably stream tomorrow night too. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Helping out your community. That's awesome. That's cool to know. I bet they'll be very appreciated by that. Yeah, I hope they do too. We'll try nice and girls to do that for homeless. We don't get too many homeless around here anyway. Occasionally you'll see some homeless stuff at one of our major truck stops. I the people you see at stop signs or stoplights trying to get money and stuff, I never give them money. I'll give them food occasionally if I'm done with something, but I'll never give them money. Not that I'm stingy on my money, but there's been a couple times that I have actually seen them do it. They would get money from somebody and go right up the street and get in a Corvette or a big old Escalade or a brand new Dodge Ram truck or a Ford Mustang or a Dodge Charger. I mean, anything real nice. And drive away in it. And I've had I've had people see one say he was homeless and needed some money for something I can't remember, and they fall. They uh, think this person ain't getting money, but they gave him some food because it was a hot and water because it was a hot day, like in June or July, and then they followed them a little bit of distance, followed them right to the truck stop. They got in a big old Escalade, brand new. They followed that Escalade to a beautiful house, two-story house, and they pull in there and like, got away with that one. Well, they shouldn't have done that because that person caught the cops on them. That's cool. That's cool. You should do that. You should help a local dog shelter. I'm sure they could use a lot of help. Go buy them a bunch of dog food and stuff they need. Well, I'm sure they'd appreciate that too. I'm sure they would appreciate it. The dog shelter and the orphanage. Those kids would appreciate it. All the dogs would appreciate toys and stuff. I know a lot of dog shelters and stuff are kind of, I would say they're down or they're just kind of behind Oregon and stuff because of COVID. But that would be amazing. I applaud both of you girls for doing that, helping out in your community. That's an amazing sight. If I could help out around here in some way, I would. Unfortunately, I don't have a bunch of money to do that. Most of my money goes for bills and stuff. Exactly. Yeah, do what you can. Yeah, do what you can to help out. I'm sure they would appreciate it. And if I was running one of those businesses, I would greatly appreciate it after pandemic and stuff. A lot of stuff is kind of need money and stuff like that. I think Devin might have went to bed. I don't know. It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 p.m. here. So other than doing a praise practice tomorrow, I don't think we're doing anything. Unless Grandpa or Grandma ends up needing help with something. Most likely I'll just be here home, probably playing on the dishwasher most of the day with Devin. Probably racing NASCAR at 5 again, like I did today. Till it's time to go to church. When I first get up in the morning, I'll probably talk to Christy until she goes to work. I don't know what time she works tomorrow. I think 10:30 again, but she got double shift, so she'll work probably 10:30 to 10 to close. So they're gonna break about 4, 3 or 4. Tomorrow, me and Devin are being by herself again, having leftovers again. But it's something I cooked the other day. Last Thursday, I think. I don't know if you're still watching or not, but I asked Vinny to ask you if I could get your Instagram. Since I don't know what you should look like now. Well, it's up to you though. No, it's fine. Okay, nobody else is on here now, so there's one person that never talks. Um, I don't think you're still on there. There's only one person. Um, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. And I'll do a stream probably tomorrow afternoon or again tomorrow night when I get home from church. Take care. Have a good week. And have a good weekend. Have a great Easter. Love all you guys. See you tomorrow.